right, good morning, you guys. It is Thursday. Happy Thursday, and I am blessed and honored to be here. And we're going to talk about LOANOPOLY today. That is going to be a 8-week series that I'm going to start on the home buying process and kind of what goes into that. So I've got my lone wolf shirt on today and representation of our LOANOPOLY, but actually I'm not a lone wolf. I've got a pack, got a wolf pack, and they're awesome. Shout out to all of our operations teams at Loan Depot right now that are just, they're killing it right now in such a high volume time. We are consistently performing, and so shout out to them. I'm going to take 2 seconds to address something real quick, and one of it's going to be multiple offers that's happening right now. I have a ton of customers that have made multiple offers in this region, in our area, in DFW, especially in the suburb areas. You're seeing a lot of homes going very quickly. And so if you are a buyer, do not lose hope. I always tell my customers the perfect home will come along at the perfect time. You do need to be ready to jump on it. If you look at a house one day and you love it, be prepared that day because they are going quickly. And so we had 2 people last week that had been shopping, and it literally took them probably 6 offers to get one accepted, and it took them paying their own title policy, things like that. There's just movement that is happening within the market, and you got to be kind of flexible and ready for that. And if you are working with an agent, they will walk you through that and help you kind of come up with those ideas to capture those houses. So we are going to start with LOANOPOLY. So the process of a mortgage loan typically doesn't start with the mortgage with most people. There are reasons why you choose, or buyers choose, to buy a home. They're either downsizing, they have outgrown the home that they're in, maybe they're renting, they don't want to pay the landlord anymore, they want to make a true investment. And they say, okay, I'm going to start looking. And then they kind of get in and they look at Zillow or Realtor.com or something online, and they start seeing houses that they like, and they get that urge to buy. You're going to call an agent, typically is what's happening first, and that agent is going to refer you immediately to me or to a lender. And the reason why that happens is when you go to write a contract, you find a house you love, you say, I want to buy this house. Your agent will prepare a contract to submit to the seller, but they only submit that with a pre-approval letter or pre-qualification letter, because the seller's agent is going to look at that contract and say, are they pre-approved? So typically your agents are going to listen to what your goals are, and then they're going to refer you to me or to a lender to get pre-qualified. So that's where, if you picture a Monopoly board and you're at start, it's kind of the first step. So at that point, you're going to call me, and I call that a goals and dreams kind of talk, because some customers that I talk to have no idea what they want. They have no idea what they qualify for. They just know that they want to buy, and they don't even know how the process begins. So we kind of talk about those goals. I'll say, what do you want to do? How long do you see yourself being in this home? Those types of conversations, because that impacts what type of product you're on and what that looks like. So after we talk about your goals and your dreams, then I'm going to say, okay, we need to really take an application. That's step 1 with me, is to get an application. We can do an application either by phone or on my website. And it takes literally, I did it personally myself for my own home loan, and it took us about 12 minutes. I timed it because I wanted to know. It took me 12 minutes to complete the application online. Same for over the phone, except typically we're on the phone a little bit longer because one, I like to talk, but two, I'm asking a bunch of detailed questions that I'm going to have to ask you anyway once we do the online application. The online application benefits are you're able to immediately validate your income, you're immediately able to validate your assets through that portal, which is huge. And it's going to save a few steps once we get through the LOANOPOLY board. So once we take that application and I ask you those questions are going to consist of where have you lived for 2 years? I need those addresses. Where have you worked for 2 years? I need to know that. Did you have any gaps of employment? What were the gaps for? Tell me a little bit about your assets. Do you have any funds for down payment? Those types of questions will come out. One of the things that always customers ask me is, do you have to pull my credit? That is a lot of times one of the first questions I get. And I'm going to tell you the answer is yes. Now, whether that's now or whether it's in a week, I have to pull your credit to be able to get you that pre-qualification because I need to know what your score looks like. A lot of people say, well, on Credit Karma, my score is, and I always have to tell them that's not going to be accurate. And I did post a video about credit scores and where they come from. So you can go to my YouTube channel and check that out. But it definitely is a difference between what we pull and what you'll see maybe on your credit card statements or through Credit Karma or an entity like that. So the credit score is critical because it's going to dictate your rate. It's going to dictate the programs that you can get into and your down payment. So that's why we say, yes, it is pretty critical that we pull your credit. The other thing that it's going to show us is your debts. We need to be able to see what to qualify you with and how much you can qualify for. Now, people say, but it's a hard inquiry. Yes, it is one hard inquiry. You can have hard inquiries when you're shopping for a mortgage home within a 45-day period, and it only affects you one time. Some people say, well, I want to shop. That's fine, but that one pull, you can have it pulled again in a 45-day period, and it's only going to show up as one hard inquiry. So after we do that and we talk through your loan, I'm going to take all that information and I'm going to give you some options. I'm going to say you do qualify for this based on what we've talked about. You don't qualify for this and this is why. So once we do that, I'm kind of evaluating the programs to tell you maybe what's best for you and give you those options. The other thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to take that information that we gathered and I'm going to run it through a portal. So Fannie Mae, Freddie Mac, FHA, VA, they all have their own software that they use to look at a consumer's kind of credit profile to know whether or not that it's going to be approved. So I'm going to send that through their portal, through their software, and it's going to give me a decision, yes or no. So let's go to a situation where I say it's not qualifying at this point. I'm seeing this, this, this. I'm going to put you on a roadmap to help you get to an approvable level, whether that's me kind of walking you through what's on your credit report or walking you through maybe some debts that are too high to qualify for what you're looking for. Some people come in and they say, you know, I really want $300,000, and I'll say, well, based upon what I'm seeing, you only qualify for $200,000, and your agent's going to be able to set you up on some drops campaigns to show you homes in that price range. But if you say, no, I really need $300,000, then we're going to talk about how to get there and what we need to do to adjust to get you to that. So just because I say it's not approvable right now doesn't mean that we couldn't be there in 60, 90, 120 days or some time frame that we'll talk through. Okay, so once I get that information, I say, yay, the system took it, you are pre-qualified. I'm going to be sending you a list of documents that I'm going to want you to send back to me. Typically, they're standard pay stubs, W-2s. It's all going to be based upon what the system tells me and what I already don't have validated through Loan Depot's system. Loan Depot has a great technology where they can source your income and assets for certain customers and save you some of that documentation. Then, once I get it back, I can issue a pre-approval. There's a difference between a pre-qualification and a pre-approval. Pre-qualification means that you are pre-qualified based on the information that we talked about, based upon the income that you told me, based upon what you told me you had for assets. But then in a pre-approval is basically saying, I've now looked at your W-2s, I've looked at your pay stubs, and they support what we talked about. At that point, the realtor, your agent, has a letter from me. It's either a pre-qualification letter or a pre-approval letter saying, yes, they are pre-qualified or pre-approved. The pre-approval letter is stronger just because that seller's agent is going to look at that and say, oh, the lender's already looked at this person's documents. So it's always good to get those documents in as soon as possible, because then you'll have a stronger approval letter to submit with your offer. So now, once you have that letter and I send it directly to your agent so that they have it as well, you can start shopping for a house. And that's the fun part. And so next week, we're going to cover that shopping process piece and what that looks like. But that is the first step down the LOANOPOLY that you want to tackle, is getting pre-qualified, getting pre-approved, getting that letter to your agent so you know what you qualify for. And if you don't qualify right now, kind of getting that roadmap to what it's going to take to get there. So with that being said, that's all for today. And if you've been on, drop me a hi. I'd love to see that you joined. Don't forget to share this, please, with your agents, with your borrowers as they are during this process so they can kind of hear it, because it's really important. And once I kind of get them all posted on my Facebook page, on my YouTube page, you'll be able to go back and reference those and send them out. But if you have any questions as well, please post them in the comments. I'll be glad to answer any questions you may have. And hello, Alec. Oh, thank you so much for saying hi. I feel so honored. If y'all don't know Alec Hansen, Alec is, I'm going to say, my Facebook Live mentor. I've been watching him. If you are an agent, he is very motivational about some marketing pieces. And truly, Alec, thank you so much. So I will see you next week live at 11 Thursday. And again, thank you so much for joining. Talk to you guys later.